literally like, bro, could we just work from home? It's been pretty slow at the hospital anyway. I'm like, I could work from
Hmm.
home to fix some stuff, but
But isn't that capitalism? I'll risk my life to make sure that you can make my money.
Which is
yeah.
why you will never see me out in any storm in
Which is
any
why Unpaid
capacity.
Invoices has to blow up to the moon so that I can never have to work again.
It
Or
still
But
works.
someone
with
else.
I was gonna say this is
listen,
still work. We just willing to do this one.
this is true. This is very true. But with that being said, welcome back, you guys. This is Unpaid Invoices, the space, the safest space for creatives. Okay, we're talking business boundaries and everything in between. This is your girl Kiara Webster.
And your girl Danique Mache, and you know
This is how we
how we
do.
do.
We're back. We're back for another episode.
Mhm.
Episode. Can't talk, Jesus. We're back with another episode, but this time around, we have a guest. And as you guys know, we like to bring in our guests very early in the episode, let them know how we do, what's going on, and all that jazz. Mr. Mike Spencer is in the building, ladies and gentlemen. The claps.
Right.
In the background. Mr. Mike Spencer, how are you doing today?
I'm well. Thank you guys for having me.
Thank you for
Of
being
course.
here. Well, usually getting off the rip, we usually get into it by just checking in, making sure that we are okay. What you have going this week? What are some creative projects that you've been working on? So I will open the floor, Miss Danique, Mr. Mike. What y'all been? How y'all been?
I've
I've
been
been
good.
good.
Been
Yeah.
good? Yeah.
Yeah.
We're all snowed in right now. So, well, snowed in, quote unquote. I think we can
Right.
kind of move around, but
I've seen
it's
people
not
moving
worth it.
around,
Yeah, it's not
and
worth it for me.
it's not in my
So,
ministry for me to be out and about right now.
Agreed. I don't want to test my insurance coverage like that. So,
And it just went up, so
and
hey,
you know, Oklahoma people can't drive in
at all.
storms.
At all. At
Don't
all.
matter what
Any
storm.
light precipitation on the ground, it gets real shaky. I seen a video earlier, somebody on like a side road in Moore, and the news was just watching them
Yeah.
go back and
I
forth.
probably know what you're talking about because that's probably the area that I almost got caught up the last time we had a storm. So,
Oh,
yeah.
mm,
yeah. I think it was actually on the
Um,
19th, so yes. It was off
mm,
yes, that
it.
whole little area is dangerous as hell during times like this,
Hmm.
and the one off of 240. But yeah,
Yeah.
pretty good. I'm pretty good.
It's nice. I just made breakfast, got a cup of coffee and
Yeah, I was gonna say,
coffee.
you get a cup of
Mike,
coffee,
what you getting into? Coffee,
Yeah.
tea, man?
Are you a
Uh,
coffee drinker? I think you said no.
no,
Yeah.
no, I'm not a coffee guy, but I've been drinking tea lately with honey. So that's been cool.
What type of
Mm.
tea? I always
I was
ask
just
people
about to
this.
say what type.
I'm old school. So I grew up on Lipton. So just basic Lipton.
Okay.
And then I add what I want to it.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, like no
Okay.
Yeah.
English
So classic.
breakfast, like a black tea. Is Lipton black tea? I think they're
Mm,
black
no,
tea.
it's
I think
country.
it's like, yeah, I was about to say, I think it's just a regular like
Just
type
Just
of
two
a
tea
teas.
mixture. Yeah.
Mm.
basic tea leaf. Yeah, basic
Yeah.
tea
Okay.
leaf.
Have you gotten the like what is it, the little things, the little concoctions where you like make it and it's like clear and it boils and you can see the tea leaves cooking and shit?
I know what you're talking
No,
Yeah.
I
about.
I think I do want to get more into the process and the aesthetics of it, but
Okay.
if I have my honey and whatever else I'm putting in there, I'm good.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, it's a tea type of moment. I've been
I'm
trying to get me some
a
teas.
peppermint gal.
Yes, peppermint.
I
Yeah,
don't like
I
yeah.
love
peppermint.
peppermint. Put that
Peppermint
in
flavoring is too
anything,
much. I
and
do a
I'm good.
mint. I'll do a mint tea. I like a mint
Those
tea.
are not
Mm,
the same to me. I
I
can
don't like
appreciate a
peppermint
mint.
though. So
That is fair.
I don't like peppermint flavoring of anything. It'd be too much. Like peppermint bark during the Christmas time, people who be getting that stuff. Ugh.
Oh, I love
mm-mm.
that stuff.
Or mint chocolate chip or what is it? Yeah, them type of flavoring profiles for me. I be like, "Ooh,
Too
take.
much.
Yeah, it's too much for me. I don't necessarily care for it. But what about creative projects? What have you been working on? I know you said you're doing something.
Uh,
I've been peeping the stories.
yeah, yeah. And I'm gonna reach out to you. We'll have more in-depth conversation. I have
For
been
sure.
writing, working on the second, third, and fourth shorts. So just been
Oh,
spending a lot of time writing. I'm
Okay.
always in the studio creating images, but
yeah.
I'm gonna focus more in on the film stuff this
Okay.
in 2026. So
Okay,
Okay.
hold on. Because for me, I kind of am like very spotty with social media. So it's like
Yeah.
every time I see you, it's imagery, it's images, it's photos.
Hmm.
You're telling me you're in a writing bag too? Like you're
yeah,
actually, I did not know that.
I don't know how I didn't even think about this. I just assumed that you. So the
You do
premiere
not
for
be
the
on
first,
social media. I be trying
I
to tell
really
you.
yeah,
don't. And
Do
I'm going to
not.
okay,
like honest to God, I'm going to fix that this year, but I'm like super I know that you're on like sets and everything because I feel like that's the first time that I met you or we crossed
yeah,
paths. was
Pilot,
on
yeah.
a short set. Yeah. So I knew that you were like, in line with it, but I didn't know you were writing. Like I feel like
Yeah.
those are like different, no?
I wrote and we did the first short film in 2024 and then premiered it that summer.
Really? Okay.
Yeah, I don't know how you guys, Ronnie lit it. I don't know how you guys didn't know. That's crazy.
I
So
be
I,
yeah, we be in our own little world. We got to do better for
no,
you.
Well, also
there's
we're
nothing
all
wrong with
doing
that.
projects and stuff, and then you say
All the,
like, I
Yeah.
don't think he
yeah,
told us like, or like
because
sometimes it's just,
we just do stuff for each other. He'll be like, "Hey, bro, come do this for me." We're like, "All right." I'll be like, "Hey,
yeah.
all
And
right."
it's
We just
similar
knock it
with
out.
him as well. Like we just be kind of all
Just
co-mingling
knock it
and what
out.
have you.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I feel that. Okay, cool. So you did one in 2024, and now you're doing two more in 2025 or 2026.
Developing,
Holy crap, 2020.
developing. Yeah, 20. Isn't it? Isn't it weird to say it?
We're in
Yeah.
2026. Excuse me. Oh my gosh.
I
Yeah, this is
remember.
the
Yes.
first month.
I remember a time when I didn't even think the world would exist this long, or
In
that I would
2020,
make it.
no, I
Oh
that's
my
how I
Oh
gosh,
feel
yeah.
now
wow.
saying 2030, but that's like a
Yeah,
ridic.
it's not far away.
It's
It's
That's
not.
so like,
literally around the corner. Um, yeah. So
Okay.
yes, that's focusing on developing those three films. We're doing rehearsals for one with the cast. The other two are still in pre-production because some of the cast members, obviously, we all have jobs that take care of our lives. So we're working around the cast members'
Mm.
schedules as much as possible. So yeah, I'm gonna be be
Okay.
calling both of y'all. Hey, can you come help me?
look, I'm there. Okay.
I appreciate it.
In the mood, in the zone, in the zone.
Yeah.
Okay, then I don't feel like I've been just equally as writing, trying to just become more confident in my writing.
Mm,
Um, and what else? I've honestly just been kind of educating myself. Like I've just been reading scripts as much as I can because I feel like I want to do television, and there's obviously not a lot of
mm,
people here in Oklahoma who want to do television, and they're very different. They're very, very, very different.
yeah.
And pre-production and everything. So I just been trying to educate myself on a space where maybe not everybody else is kind of in the same space, but still
Yeah,
trying to
yeah.
also network with the people who are here and doing all of those things. So I love that.
Yeah. It's
What
the
about you?
same thing on the photography side because there aren't very many people here that shoot fashion.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
there was no mentor for me here. So I had to do a lot of it myself until I got one. So yeah, education is the key. You got to study.
Yeah. Well, okay then. Well,
Heavily
we get
agree.
into our tabs, which is something that I feel like every creative can relate to. We have a bajillion tabs open. And so with that being said, we'll get into one of our first tabs, which is a couple of them were kind of random. I feel like because we usually have like a rapid fire. There wasn't too much crazy going on, but there was just a little bit that
Mhm.
was going on. I'll start us off slight because we were talking about this previously before we started. The internet is ablaze currently with this conversation surrounding Kid Cudi and Jim Jones, and whether or not Jim Jones was the catalyst behind Kid Cudi's meteoric rise with Day and Night. There's been
Right.
speculation and stuff going around
Mm,
saying that Day and Night, the original version, I guess this is, at least I'll say allegedly. Allegedly, it is being proposed that the Day and Night remix with Jim Jones on it was the first original version, apparently. But obviously, the one that we all know is Kid Cudi, and so
it's Cuddy's version. Yeah.
right, is Cudi's version without the feature from Jim Jones. And
Hmm.
so a lot of people have been going back and forth on this, and it touched on a couple of areas that we usually talk about, which is like, when you're collaborating with people and ownership, and sometimes things can get muddied in that space, but also just as like the black community, I feel like this is usually sometimes the only conversation within us in this space where it's like, I put you on, you owe me
Mhm.
this, versus in some other spaces or other cultures it's not necessarily this
Mm.
conversation where it's like, well, no, we did business together and business is business, and once we're done. It's not like this close knit type of thing. You're familiar with Kid Cudi, yes?
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, yeah.
Everybody's familiar with Kid Cudi
He
and the
was one of
thing.
my favorite rappers growing up.
Day and Night
I
was
like
on loop.
Cuddy.
Yeah, Day and Night was
Cuddy's
on loop.
yeah, and he's vulnerable. Cuddy doesn't isn't afraid to be vulnerable, and I think that's important to see that in black men.
For sure.
Oh,
I
for
never even
sure.
thought about that, for
For
sure, but no,
sure.
that's a good point.
Okay.
That's a
Ooh,
good point. I've never
with the
thought about
point, because
he
honestly, yeah,
yeah,
I
I've
do
never thought
feel
about
like
how
he
vulnerable
is.
he is in his music. That's a
I
good.
would, yes, heavy on that.
I don't know. So the internet is ablaze because of this. I wanted to get you guys' thoughts, one on this particular situation, but also two on just collaborating and working with other
Mm,
people and these kinds of situations happening.
hmm.
Um, Mr. Mike, you're pretty known for working with a lot of people in the city. What's your take on this situation?
So you guys probably don't know this either, but I was in the music business in the 90s in New York, around Puff, around Jay, before Jay was on. I used to see them in New York.
Hmm.
I've been around this.
So
And
you learn something new
Okay, you've
every
been
day,
in
boy, I tell you.
the system.
so
So you
so
understand how this stuff works,
I
essentially.
do
Okay, when it comes to
specifically from
publishing and
this.
writing. Okay.
Yes. So there's a difference if so let's start with publishing and writing. The way that rap and R&B publishing splits occur very different from pop splits. In pop
Yeah.
splits, everybody gets the same amount that participated. Even if you just did the smallest thing, you don't have to negotiate. The splits are predetermined.
Okay.
On our side of the house, there can be guns drawn
Shenanigans.
behind
Yeah.
behind publishing.
Yeah, right.
There can
Stick
be
'em up.
guns drawn behind it, and because it's lucrative, right?
No, yes, yeah.
A song like Day and Night, it's been in movies. I want to say I've
Right,
heard it in a couple of
Commercials,
commercials.
right,
yeah.
yeah.
The
It
licensing
was
on
on
that
the
is
Very,
radio,
very
insane. Right. So
unique
and
song.
then there are different licenses you can get. You get a sync license and all of these things. So there's so much money tied into it. So from a business perspective, I think it's really important to get that stuff done up front.
For
And
sure.
we like to do homeboy business or homegirl business sometimes. And I think we need to stay away from
I'm
that.
I'm like hella against that, just sidebar, but
I am not
I
against
just,
it. I am not
hella in the
against
so
way of like it just doesn't it would be easy, right, to move that way. It would be seamless in the way of like, someone's next to you, you trust them, you've worked together. It's just synergy going with the creations and everything like that. We'd love to move like that, but unfortunately, with my experiences or a couple, or just not even mine, just seeing people, it gets messy when you
it
don't.
does. It
It
does.
it gets very messy when you
Yeah,
don't. So yeah, I definitely agree with that. Front end stuff, it just get it out the way.
I
And
agree.
those are tough conversations because at that time, I don't know, I can't remember if Cuddy was dealing with Kanye. I don't know what was going on.
I
I
don't think
can't
he was dealing with him.
I don't think it was happening yet.
It wasn't
I,
Yeah.
yet,
yeah,
but
I don't
after I think Day and Night, because then he dropped the album, which was I think the Pursuit of Happiness, right? Was that
right.
the first?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
That
Yeah.
was
Yeah.
Believe
his
so.
first album,
And that.
and then I think after that is when they kind of started being around each other because then
Right.
Kanye I think was also shifting gears with his sound. I
Hmm.
think
Right.
this was also during his Flashing Lights era, maybe.
Maybe so.
It
And I
might have
Maybe
think he
been.
so.
brought
Yeah.
him on the production, is what I
I
believe, and
think
that's how
so.
they started
And
doing
he
that.
helped to write and some of those other
Right?
things.
Yeah.
Well, speaking
So
of the Kanye West thing, I think they just said the Through the Wire writer that he came out because he was on
They did
the
just
took
that
say that.
whole
all of
yeah
it.
he took all of it. Well,
Mhm.
because one lady was like no, the other guy said he would have did it. He was like I would have gave it to him, but
Took all of it.
that other lady said no, and from then he's never made a dime off of that. So I would say in that space, like seeing the dichotomy of how other cultures handle their business versus us, and how she was firm on that. She said no.
Yeah.
No, I don't care. It's not yours because I already know where this is gonna go. I could see the potential
Mhm.
in this thing, or whether or
Mhm.
not it doesn't go anywhere. I'm proactively being like, I'd rather not. And so I do agree with you. It is better to
Yeah.
not do back deal business.
I think so. I think the other thing is to consider in that is if the three of us, if we're all doing above the board business, but then we have an investor who's used to doing street business,
Hmm.
it,
Mhm.
it's going to be conducted as street business, no, whether we want it to
Right.
be or
That's a
not.
good point. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we have to take those things into consideration. And I'm not saying Jim is a gangster. I don't know him to say that he is or isn't. I know that people around him are tough guys.
Mhm.
So I don't know how that business was handled around those guys, just from
Mm.
the things that I've heard. And I can't verify that there was some, extracurricular activities to achieve some additional points and whatnot. And who knows how that business was handled.
Right.
And then maybe Cuddy just made a decision that he thought was best for his
Himself. Yeah.
long-term career,
Which at that point I can't be mad. Like I can't like at some point you do have to look out for numero uno in certain spaces. You kind of have to really just be
at every point.
yeah.
I would advise you guys to take care of yourselves first, because if your business is right, then you can take care of everybody else. If your business isn't right, you guys are in the lead for what you guys do. You're leading, you're building your own tables. But if you building them out of different materials and bad nails and somebody
Right.
put
And
something
it
heavy
makes
on it,
Paper
fall
everything else
apart.
mache.
after shaky. Like
Oh
Right.
yeah, I
I
agree.
think that's something, yeah, I love hearing that. And I love people also that have been in the game longer reassure like the next gen or the next like the people are just or just the newcomers like protect yourself. Because I feel like when you do come in, there's a narrative of like you should just say yes to everything because you're new. And I know for me, I'm long away from that stage. I'm not there, right? But it's like even with the people who are new, then I'm like, okay, respectfully, I get it. You could put some more steps in, but just be aware of how this is playing or this can play out. Not saying you have to
Yep.
do this all the time, but
Right.
you need to be aware because your ignorance will be used against you.
Oh,
And
for
if you're
sure.
aware, then at that point, it's not ignorance, it's you just making a decision
Yeah.
and you knowing what it is and what it ain't. But yeah,
Fool
Yeah.
me once, shame
No.
on you. Fool me twice, shame on me.
Yeah. At least you got it right. George Bush didn't. We
Yeah. Okay. No, that's true. I thought I almost messed it up for a second. I was like,
no, you got it. I'm glad. But it's super. I can tell you, and my very good friend and mentor on the photography side is a Grammy nominated producer. We would, and ironically, like 10 years, 15 years apart, we had the same attorney, Scott Felcher, who's a very powerful music attorney in New York. I remember going to New York, going to Scott's office, and he had just, I don't know, he did something amazing with the Fugees or something like that. And then my friend tells a story that when he went to Scott's office, he had gotten Rihanna signed, Neo, and someone else. So very powerful. And I see how they bully
Ooh.
people into
Yeah.
doing things based off of
yeah.
ignorance. I was looked at as difficult because
Mm.
I was like,
Talk about
I
it.
know it, I know what I'm supposed to get. I'm not signing something and I don't know what this means, so I need to take it to a lawyer, not
Right.
you. I'm gonna go
Right.
find somebody else. So, and I still bring that negotiation approach with me everywhere I go.
I
My
love
business
that.
partner says that I'm ruthless. I don't think I'm ruthless. I just try to make sure we're not going to get
Educated.
Everybody's
screwed.
under,
Yeah,
yeah. I think
That's not
if we're
ruthlessness.
just
That's
transparent, then
education.
it's
Yeah.
just, yeah, then it's just doing
yeah.
business. Why is it? That's what I'm like. I don't get it. Especially when I guess even with that scenario, it's like they probably expect you to come in and just take whatever, right? They just be
Yeah,
happy that
yeah.
you're here. And it's like, no, like you called me in here. That in itself is reassuring and confirming to me that this is
Right,
something. I am something. And if you know that, then why is my something and me asking you that such a big deal?
right,
Correct.
right.
Like
Because
it
I've
doesn't
never
make
had any problem getting money. I might not get money with you. I'll go get money somewhere else.
somewhere
Right.
I
exactly.
don't need,
So
and
it's
I don't
like
need
Because
to
the
be
same way you
famous.
were able to recognize this thing, I know somebody else will. So
correct.
Absolutely.
either you
Or
gonna
I'll
pay
just
me
build,
my worth or you're not. Or
right.
like yeah.
Or I'll just build my own table.
There you go.
It
Right.
might take a little longer, but it'll be sturdy.
Yeah. And at
Man.
least I'll have like, the right legs and the right nails and the right
Yeah,
things
yeah,
I
to
ain't got to
yeah.
worry about this bitch collapsing at any given moment
boy.
because you
At any
Or
decided
given
once
to
they,
moment.
when the
like
tables kind of shake a little bit, because
yeah,
one,
that little
you're
yeah,
like, bro,
we
this
ain't
table off
no.
center. Put a little something underneath this leg.
Right, right, right,
No, I agree.
right.
I enjoy hearing you talk about these things, especially because I didn't know you were. I feel like I did, but I don't remember you saying you were in the music business for this long. And so adding all of these things and elements to the conversation, I feel like is something that we talk about all the time as multifaceted
Mm,
creatives, like using the other industries that you've been in to realize, like,
mm,
this is a dog eat dog world, and no matter what
Yeah.
industry, and I need to be dot my T's and cross my I's on
Yeah.
every aspect of
mm.
this, and use the knowledge I've learned from other areas, because I feel the same way about fashion. Like that kind of
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
implemented me of like, okay, I'm not phased by certain things. I know how to conduct myself, like when I'm
Hmm.
around celebrities, da 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 da. Like this is just what
Right.
it is. It's business as usual. And
Yeah.
And I
so
love when we talk fashion, we just don't get to do it very much because
we
we're on set or
don't.
doing something else.
I
So
know. I
I could
know
do
it.
that for hours.
It's
I
fun. I haven't did
agree.
it in a while.
I know we
Well,
like to use the
actually,
term. I know we like to
oh,
use the term multifaceted,
Hmm.
yeah.
but I don't think that's accurate.
Oh, okay.
I think that you're creative and you do creative stuff, and then capitalism puts you in the lanes.
Ooh,
I can see that.
I
I can
do.
see that.
Yeah, yeah.
You're just good at
I
what you do.
yeah.
You can write and all the things that you do, right? You're good at all these things.
Yeah. That's a good
Mhm.
But
point.
capitalism sections them off, and then we're advised sometimes to only do one thing really well. But what if my skill set
It's just wide.
naturally
It's
flows
yeah.
across?
a lot of different
various,
areas. Yeah.
right, these things that have been delineated by capitalism. So I'm saying to y'all, the multifaceted thing is dope because that's just what you do naturally. So just do it. And if it falls in different lanes, then do that too.
We just eat the
That's
bee's
right.
knees.
You
We's the
need
bee's
to do
That's
the
knees.
it.
damn thing. Just do it, Nike. You know,
That's it.
should sponsor us.
They
You know,
don't
we gonna
firm
get that.
ice. They literally say don't firm ice. Make sure they they
And
stay
then I cut
fifty.
you off. I didn't mean to cut you off.
No, you're fine. I was about
Yeah.
to say that's actually like a perfect segue into the next tab because we are talking about fashion. Bella Hadid recently spoke out against Dolce Gabbana because I guess they just had, and maybe Key, you know a little bit more about this as far as the campaign because I haven't seen it, but speaking out against kind of like the lack of variety that has started to become them
I'll say
during
a
the
lot of
past Paris and Milan
yeah.
fashion. Yeah.
I think Mike can probably attest to this too. Here in the past, we're only a year into that man's presidency, but he has had a first term.
Yeah.
That man. That's right.
Right. Yeah, he's not worthy of a name. That individual who is in office currently, since then, the culture in several different markets has regressed.
Shifted.
And so I think what we're seeing on the runways currently, because right now it's Paris and Milan Fashion Week, these past couple of weeks, is some shows have chosen to revert back to that like early 2000s vibe, right? Where you only see very wafer thin models. You only
Heroin chic.
yeah, heroin chic.
Yeah.
You that is the look. The early 2000s Kate Moss, that very frail thin look, but also white. Like I want
Even
all
the
of them to
things
look
that
the
we're being
same like
marketed.
coat hangers. And in that it completely moves away from where we have come from for like I mean I'm even go past 10 years where we've gotten body diversity. There's been trans and LGBTQ on the runway. We've seen just a full birthing of difference on the runway, and then we get this from Dolce and Gabbana. It is kind of on brand, if I'm being quite honest, with Dolce and Gabbana. They're a very strict house who sticks to their ideals and what they believe. I don't. Some people will say, "Oh, I don't think they're doing it intentionally. They're just sticking to their brand ideals." However, I feel like if society and the industry has shifted, why shift back? Because there was a time where Dolce and Gabbana did have very diverse runways because everyone else was having diverse runways, and so it was jumping on the bandwagon, and then so now we see some, not all, I won't say all houses kind of regressing, but there has been some houses that have regressed, and so we're seeing it on the runway because it's a visible thing. You can see like coming down the runway. Yeah. And so Bella Hadid, she's Palestinian, and I know she's been very vocal about what's going on in Gaza and all of those things, but I know she's also been very vocal about Dolce & Gabbana has not been that girl for a while. Thoughts, questions, comments, concerns from my other fashion friend?
I think you covered it. They have a
Yeah.
rich history of racism and exclusion, if we just gonna call it what it is.
Correct.
The heroin chic thing came in after Naomi and the rest of the girls were killing shit. As far as I'm concerned, Naomi's the GOAT.
I agree.
And the heroin chic thing came in, and they got these super thin waif models, all with dirty blonde hair, super thin. And Versace, I want to say it was Versace, specifically Donatella, worked with her brother before he was murdered. But that said, no, this is, we need to work on this, along with Beth Ann Hardison and, all that coalition.
Because the CFDA did crack down on it a little bit.
Yeah,
they cracked down. They cracked down on it a little bit. I want to say like 2015, 2016-ish era was around the time where the CFDA was like, okay.
Right, and Beth Ann and her group had been working on that for a while to, get them to. But Italy has a history of just being incredibly racist in and of itself, and Milan is just a tough space for Black models anyway.
Period. Yeah.
Because of the racial animus that Italians tend to have toward darker skinned people, even though if we look at their history, they got a whole bunch of Black folk in them. But that's beside the point. They have a they have a ton of history that is negative towards Africa because they had warring factions all the way back to Rome. So they carried all that up to now. So
Yeah.
I just think Dolce
That
and
deep.
Gabbana are just embody. Yeah, it goes that deep. So I think Dolce and Gabbana just embody what Italians already think about Black
Yeah.
people. Danica, when you pull it up online and you look at all the models, there were like 100 of them. They all look the same.
They all look
Dark hair,
Yeah, I
same
was about to say
face.
I have not seen them come out just yet as far as like everything, but I did see
hell.
because
You
once she
can't because
spoke out,
Vogue
they
Runway
put
is
her on the
gone.
jumbotron. They were like, "Oh,
You
Bella's speaking
you
out."
can't
So I
even
was
do it no
like,
more, bro. It's Vogue Runway is gone. Like you
Yeah,
used to be able to just get on Vogue Runway and scroll through each of the collections that had dropped,
yeah.
and Vogue Runway is no more. So
Yeah, you might be able to find it on YouTube if you just want to watch it, but
yeah.
there's a screenshot of all the models. 'Cause they do a board with all of them, and it's
Mm-hmm.
literally the same
They
model
look
over and over
very the
again.
same. And then you see other shows like I think Amiri and
Mm.
a
I did
couple.
see Amiri's,
Yeah, and
and I
so
loved theirs.
imagine Amiri's, right? Every other one was like you had an Asian model, an
Yeah,
Indian model, like
yeah,
Mm.
you
Amiri's was
and it
like,
made sense too to even like the clothing. It
yeah,
gave further depth to the story of what they were trying to tell with the clothes.
Mm.
But then
right,
you get Dolce and Gabbana, and I'm like, who's holding some of these companies
the stock.
accountable? Right? Who's holding them accountable? Is it us? Is it the consumer? But then people were like, who is actually buying Dolce and Gabbana? Is it a class thing? Is it
I
because
think it's a class.
I've
I
seen
think it's
some
a
people
class
still wearing
thing.
Dolce and
Yeah, I was
Gabbana.
gonna say I've definitely still seen people watching. Yeah,
Yeah.
rocking it.
Because if it
So
was me and I was a celebrity and my stylist brought me some Dolce & Gabbana, I'd be like, take that back. Go ahead and put that back. I'm necessarily not going to wear
yeah,
that.
Because it's egregious. It's
Yeah.
egregious. Yeah.
That's like wearing Prada
Um,
after they did the little monkey.
Absolutely not. And even the thing, well, remember the thing with
was that
Monica?
because that Gucci?
They both, I think, had something.
Because I feel that way about Gucci.
Yes. Gucci had a
Prada, I didn't
moment.
know.
Prada had, I think, it was a collaboration with Gap, I think, or something. They did something a while
There
back
was
that,
something wild.
yeah, that they had
Is
something
that the
really
little
well.
boy one with the shirt?
I think it might have been
Yes,
actually,
that was the
yes.
little boy
I
with the
thought that was
shirt.
Yes.
They called him
Gucci
a
because
monkey.
Gucci has had numerous ones.
And this is
Yeah,
where
they
we get back to the point of everybody just needs to have some black people on their team. Because I could have easily been
Mon
in that room and said, no,
no,
let's not
don't
do
do that.
that. Let's not do
And then
that.
Left and
Montclair,
right.
Yeah. Oh, well,
Montclair did something similar.
last episode we talked about on Tuesday, that should come out. And if they hear this, they hear this. But we were talking about Nike and this Martin Luther King Hotel Lorraine colorway that they did for MLK Day. And they chose.
I
I
didn't see
don't.
that.
Have
You
you
didn't
not
see.
seen that?
I
Yeah.
haven't seen
I
it.
was gonna
Yeah.
say if you can Google it really quick. Basically, they did the Hotel Lorraine colorway for a LeBron James, and the marketing and the PR release was essentially like the
Right.
King is back, like like
It
trying
was
to
a
play.
play off of his name, obviously, with the whole,
Hmm.
but I and me
It's
and
where he
Keith
was
talked about this.
assassinated.
The way
Like,
that they went about this felt so money grab that it was like there's a way that y'all could have did this.
hmm
I can easily see what y'all could have did, and I'm so curious as to why y'all didn't take it. If y'all needed to drop a shoe or y'all wanted to utilize the fact that,
because it
Black
is a
History Month is
historical
coming,
monument now,
MLK,
to my
and it's
knowledge.
like
Yeah,
It
you
is.
guys
Yeah.
didn't take it. The way that they did it to me
there
from
was
like
no
a
money
branding
donated.
point
There was
was just
nothing, no
like,
tie-in really that would have made sense.
Hmm.
Even if they would have did this, they're like
yeah, not aware of
Grace.
any donation or anything that it's going
Yeah.
to. I'm not,
And
it's
then
just
it's too,
like,
it's just like it's where he was assassinated. Like it's not like where he was born. It's
heavy
not
on
like
that. And also
where
like, we're
it's.
talking about you, LeBron, in this book. Like, and then it's like random hashtag equality. Like, okay, I guess. Like, is this keychain supposed to go on something? What's it supposed to go on? Like, is this
And then
like,
they dropped it on my MLK Day, and I was just
like, oh,
okay,
It's insensitive at best,
right.
irresponsible for sure. But I mean, I'm a
The
that's
colorway was nice.
capitalism.
We said we did say the
but
colorway was
even from a
nice, but
capitalism standpoint, I'm not gonna hold you. I was just like going back to the who is on the team. I
because
want to
it's
see the
both
team
teams, LeBron's team,
because
Nike's team, and the Hotel Lorraine staff team. Like
bro,
like
okay,
I would have imagined somebody was like, maybe we
there was a
package this
way that they
different.
could have did it that would have it would have been right in the way of like
More
historically
memorial.
right now what's going on, we need to continue these stories. We need to keep talking about it.
I
You are
agree.
part of a demographic that needs to continue to make sure that these next gens of kids understand the gravity of what we're going to,
Boy,
going
because
with
word
right
on the
now and
street
what's
is
happening.
they're letting their white friends say the N-word and defending them.
And so last time I haven't even heard that even, oh my gosh, please don't make me
She
blow up
said,
right now.
brain.
It's just like the way that they could have did it could have been so a part of now, as well as if
Mhm.
you needed to get a shoe off and you got your own contract or sets of stipulations going on. Okay, you know what I'm saying? Like how you're saying that is business and they don't give a damn. But you could have made this a little bit more with your community if you were going to do
Substance. It
this
could have had
and
a
you
little bit more
didn't.
Yeah.
And
substance
it's
for
like
sure.
you just missed the mark on that. Like, I don't know why though, because it's like you're LeBron. Who's a part of your team?
I think capitalism doesn't care. And when I say capitalism, I'm not saying it to affirm it. I'm saying it to hold it accountable. Capitalism requires racism, it requires
Yeah.
patriarchy, it requires all of those things in order to function effectively.
Right.
And I think this is an example of it functioning the way it was intended to. If we offend you, oh well, we're going to take advantage of this holiday in a way that we think will be
Yeah.
lucrative, not in a
Right.
way that we think will benefit the community. I think capitalism is just capitalism,
In this space, in this scenario, yeah.
and I think
I would
it's terrible. I think Dr. King,
We
on a
rolling
couple of
in his
levels, is being
grave.
assaulted. He's being assaulted on from a couple of different fronts right now,
Yeah.
and I don't think that
agree with
this
you.
is
Yeah.
something that improves the lot for Black folk or any other marginalized population by
Yeah.
taking the colors from the Lorraine Motel where he
So do
was
you feel like as a
assassinated.
community we should hold LeBron James accountable in situations like this? Or do we
I
hold Nike accountable? Or
Um,
who do we hold
That's a good
accountable? Because we can
question.
take account of the capitalism of it all, but
Mhm.
I'm curious to like as a community, right, or as a consumer, who do we then say
I'm gonna
I
say
don't?
both. I
I
don't
would
think
agree with
anyone
that.
is absolved, like,
Okay,
because even to the point of like how we're saying like capitalism is just capitalism, it doesn't care, right? It doesn't. So,
We have to.
yeah, right.
exactly, and
Which
that's what
is
I'm
what I was
saying. Like
trying to
at
right.
some
Who
Yeah.
do
point,
we hold
that's why I'm saying
accountable
like
in this space? Yeah,
with his team or even with himself, like, did you not? Like, yeah, it functioned in the way that you got the shoe off. Yeah, I'm sure you probably got a couple of bucks. It still sold, but it's like, do you yourself not feel anything with this?
I
And if the answer is no, then sure, then that's your
big thumbs up
answer.
from Puppy. Okay,
But if
like
it's then that would even more affirm the idea of like capitalism being at play. Your mind is also is feeding from a space that is just money. And if that's what I'm saying. If it's yes, then sure. Then we don't have to have any more conversation. If
right.
it's like, you know what I'm saying? No, like this does bother me.
mm,
This does frustrate me. Tell me how I can be better at it. Then
mm.
let's
Hmm.
move. But
But
it's
Close
like
my eyes every time LeBron is on the
I don't
screen
think this is
playing
the first
basketball.
time he's done something like this though.
oh
So
no,
that's
it's
another
not.
reason why I'm like, I don't really personally care to have like a critique on him himself. I think he's already
Yeah.
showed he
Yep.
doesn't care.
I
Yeah.
think I think it's important to remember that LeBron is a billionaire.
And so then we
Yeah.
get
And
into that conversation of
Yeah.
billions.
right. So he's beholden to the mechanism through which he achieves said status.
Right.
And I think that no matter how Black you are, I think it's very difficult to remain thoughtful of the proletariat. In this case, I'll use that word when you have so much money and you want to maintain that empire. Am I
Mm,
excited that he has given back and created the school and some of those things? I am really happy about those things. Um, would I like to see him do more stuff? Absolutely. For the community, absolutely. I don't expect it from him because
if you were in that
Like how
space,
you
would
saying,
you?
it's at the end
Yeah.
of the day, it's just this is the wheel and we're a part of.
Well, cause
So
I'll
I'm
I'll
in,
pose it to you guys then. If you were in that space, would you feel like people should have to hold you accountable to
I
your
would like to
community?
think so.
To
I
your
would like to think
community.
so. But if I can open up my Chase app on my phone and I see 9 zeros, what can you tell me? Like, am I really gonna listen to somebody? I don't
Or I've
know. I don't
already
know.
given, or in his case, like he's like, all throughout the years, I've already been,
Right.
I've
I've
already
already done
done. What
this.
Yeah.
more do you want from me, beholden to the community? Like I've already done enough, and I mess up or I say something that's maybe not in line with what y'all want. Is that mean I'm discredited, or am I? Because I think about these places like
I think
if
that's
and
different though.
when I get there,
Like
you feel like it's different.
we're talking because I feel like we're touching on that notion of like, yeah, we get to make these decisions, sure, like, and it only affects us. But I feel
Mm-hmm.
like the fact that specifically in this scenario, because he used MLK,
Yeah.
it's like a little bit different. Like if you would have just did something by yourself and then use like Black History Month as a thing, okay, whatever, then maybe I don't know. Like the fact that he took on someone else's name
Mm.
and tried to, I
Okay.
feel like it's shifting it.
That's interesting.
I do think you have a due diligence, like because I look at it like you can move how you want to move. That's your prerogative in your life, whether you want to hold yourself to a moral ground, high ground, or whatever. That's you. But it's like you took on his estate in the name
Oh yeah,
and
they
did
probably did have
something,
to
you
clear
know what I'm
that.
saying, and played on something else. Like that's kind of dragging a little bit in a way, them down. I don't know, but they had to approve this. So I don't
I'm surprised Bernice didn't say nothing. You know, she usually say
Yeah.
everything.
Yeah. She doesn't play
yeah,
Quick
around
she
to be
does.
with
She
like,
public
definitely comes
names.
out
shut
and
it
speaks
down.
vocally.
She be quick to come out and
Um,
say, I'm not,
Yeah.
this is
I'm not
not,
gonna lie. I would hope that even with them 9 zeros, whatever, I'm like,
you still feel
damn, I
like
have a
you,
dude, you know, I have
yeah.
a I don't know. I
I
would
I'm
think
hope
with
I'm
people
you.
not
won't
losing
have grace
myself
though.
that damn much.
No,
I
but
hope
this is
so
the
too.
thing. People say, like, obviously when we get there and then we're on the other side of it all, kind of like, if we had them 9 zeros on our end and we have done things throughout, like taking out the LeBron of it all in the MLK situation, people are gonna have these views of you because now you're in this position. They don't know that
Mhm.
you came from blah 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 blah, and even if they do, they're no longer taking that into credit anymore. Like that's bad
Right.
credit. That's old credit. You now have to continue to prove yourself every time, and I feel like if I was on that side of things, like if I was in LeBron's shoes, I could see how that's exhausting. I'm gonna just do whatever. And if you feel like it didn't hit the mark for you, then that's tough. I
Then
still feel
fine,
like
yeah.
I still feel like me associating or doing this thing with him. And again, I'm not caping for him, but I very much sometimes lately have been thinking about like
Just the
because we
opposing
would,
side of it. Like,
yeah,
what does
the
it look like
opposing
on the
side of
opposite
it,
side?
yeah,
Yeah,
like
like
what does that
Yeah.
look like? Because we will, and
Yeah.
we'll see that other side very soon. So I'm just like, honey, in my moments of when I'm very much like, nigga, why did you do that?
you
No.
know, a perfect person that I just thought of, and I think we talked about this at the time. Mike, you might be aware of this. Issa Rae, when she did that thing with the
Oh yes,
and
yes,
it went to hell, and
yes.
everybody was just like, you ain't do this and you're not right and you did it during the season and blah blah blah, and they were just going crazy. And
Mhm,
Yeah.
then you even yourself, because I think you're supposed to go, were pissed.
mhm.
And then you sat there. I don't know what made you do it, but you sat there for a minute and was like, I wonder though, like, this is her first one or whatever. I wonder how she feeling. Like clearly this is not a part,
Yeah.
that's
It was on
that's
Kev on Stage's new podcast,
she
Not
Mm.
My
talked about
Best
that.
Moment. Yeah, Not My Best
Yeah.
Moment. And she had said something like, obviously we all know the incident where with her and Kevin Hart where she was like, I would have never known to call you type situation, but
Right. Right.
he
Yeah.
basically alluded like, do you feel like you've are successful? And she was like, no, like I don't have anything currently on television. I'm currently stuck in these
Mhm.
development deals, and the only thing I have to show for it is a show that was relevant about 5-6 years ago. To the community
Right.
as a whole, it's Insecure. It's basically the next Living Single, right? Or the next Will Smith show. Like it's that version of the canon of how we as a black community, or even just in television, you've made success. But what made me sit there and be like, I could see how she could feel that way, and I can't be mad at her
Yeah.
for saying
Mhm.
that. Like
Yeah.
you,
Because she
yours,
got to deal with them white folks every day.
and I could only imagine because she's right. She has been in like I just seen she just signed a new deal.
And that's what I was gonna say. Isn't
She
it
signed
with
a new deal
Paramount?
because
Yeah.
HBO
Mhm.
and Warner Brothers is who know what's going on with them. So I could see how maybe she had an idea for certain things, or maybe even Insecure was supposed to go a lot longer than
Mhm.
what we
Mhm.
know, and now she's had to pivot. And so when she gets these types of criticisms, when she says certain
I
things,
could
or
see that for Insecure.
Yeah, because we're not shooting anybody any bail,
nope,
right?
Right.
nope,
LeBron, this is also LeBron's first time being rich. He grew up the same
correct,
way I grew up, you know.
right,
He was just a whole lot better at basketball than I was, so I,
right,
I can relate to what it means to, see your mom working really hard and, trying to do everything you need to do to stay out of trouble, et cetera. And thankfully for him, his skill set allowed him to go, not one, stay out of trouble, also receive preferential treatment. So he's been getting preferential treatment because of his skill set his entire, most of
Since
his
he was
life.
16, yeah.
Yeah,
Like,
I said,
since he was
Earlier than
yeah.
that, but
I mean,
even at
he's
14,
18.
he
Yeah,
was a
he was in
killer.
the yeah.
yeah.
He
I could
he's been a
see how that
killer. So
He's
and
had his
and
money
experience.
since
and
18 for sure.
that's right. And even as I'm not wealthy by any means, but I got more money than I need. I
Mhm.
understand what I even even in this space, I'm like, I don't care what y'all think about what I do. I can
Mhm.
go to the airport and go anywhere I want to when I get ready.
Right.
So
No, that's
even
right.
if I had $1 billion, would I be even more? And you guys know that I will, anything y'all
Yeah.
ask me to do, I'll come help.
Mhm.
It's not about the money for me on the creative side. I love Black people. I fight for Black people. I'm all of those things, and I hope that will never change. But $1 billion,
Mhm.
Phew.
a
Yeah.
billion, I don't know. I can't,
I could understand, like, yeah, I'm not listening to y'all too much. I'm not gonna hold you.
right. Now,
But
I'm not
as
saying
far
that's
as like,
right. I'm not saying it's right. I'm just saying I can understand feeling that way.
I'm gonna be honest, I'm not listening to the main people, the main
Yeah, I
doctor that got
probably
something to say
have.
about me. If I got
Yeah.
that, I'm not listening.
I'd only
Now,
be
as
listening
far
to
as
my circle.
depending on, yes, and that's what I was gonna say. If my circle is, and that's what I mean as far as like, maybe that's a contingent upon that. I'm kind of assuming that my circle would be more, in the morale and
Not
code
yes,
of it
man.
all to
Mm.
be yes. And so
Mhm.
I'm able to feel solid in like, I'm okay with this decision. And also, this is not, I got people around me that are willing to actually be like, hey, no, this is going to do this is
Right,
it. And
right.
then,
But that starts
from
with
there.
cultivating a
Because
good,
we,
a
you'll
good little
always
circle
amass
of people, though,
haters.
too. That's
Yeah,
also
you're not gonna make everybody happy.
Happy, yeah. And
That's
it's like with
no.
yeah.
that, I mean, even how you're saying, like, he is a billionaire now. He's been a billionaire probably what, last decade, last
And I
maybe
mean,
five,
I would
have.
imagine we've seen how many Black people he's put in positions to be
Yeah,
millionaires and
his
potential
manager
billionaires.
or his agent,
Mhm.
yeah, is like one
Yeah,
of the
Rich,
top
all
heads.
those guys, Maverick Carter, all those guys. He brought
Hmm.
all of those guys with him. I'm sure that he has a payroll full of Black folk
Boy, and somebody
that
was just talking
he's
about that on was it Housewives or something? I was watching something and they were like the payroll of people. Cardi B was talking about that. She was like my family,
yeah,
everybody that's on the
yeah.
payroll at that point. So I don't know. Yeah, I could kind of, I could very well see.
If I
Uh,
put my family on, and my family's friends and their friends, and
yeah.
you can't say I'm too bad, man. Like,
I don't think
like,
LeBron, this isn't a bad LeBron post.
no, for
I've,
sure.
Oh yeah, yeah.
this
No, no, no. Just
a
the
conversation. I'm
yeah.
approaching it from that way. Would I like for him to be more culturally aware?
Mm.
Yeah.
I would
I
like
think
all
this
of the
is
people who make a certain bracket of money would like to be a
right
Yeah,
little bit
I'm
more
not saying
culturally
LeBron or,
aware right now. Yeah,
at the least, right?
yeah,
Like that's the
yeah,
minimum, right?
right.
yeah.
I would agree with that.
You from the Jacks, brother. We do expect a certain
Hmm.
loyalty to the Black community at all times. I don't know if that's fair. I'm
Right,
not
and
saying
that
it's
they're not
fair.
absolved from critique. That's the whole
They're
point of
not
being a part
absolved
of the
from
We've
critique,
talked about that
being a part.
before.
Yeah,
Yeah, we've
like
talked
we're all
about
a
like
part of
the
the
critique.
community. You're not absolved from critique. Like I don't
right?
hate Ron, and if I do, Key, you've heard me say this. It is not for these reasons. It's for like things.
Other
If I
things.
don't like him, because he just
If you
lie.
don't,
If
He
you
just
don't,
lie. He just be lying. And I be like,
he do
what they
lie.
say, he
He
be
I be
do. He
spending
like,
do
why
that
lie.
first
do you
page. He be
lie?
on that first page of like
Yes.
15 books.
I have a
Yeah.
thing
I
with
ain't never
just
seen you on page 5.
pathological liars. I'm like, what's going on in there? Like,
Mm,
why are you fight or flighting every day? Like, what are you
no,
lying about?
And
literally.
he has
But
no reason to lie. Like literally, no
That
reason
be
and
to
the
that's what
tea.
makes
lie.
it worse for me. I'm like, yo, you're just unprovoked
Unprovoked
lying.
lying.
Like,
Don't be knowing the lyrics to
bro.
words.
But yeah, I can always respect him and what he's amassed. And I do feel like
Mm,
he has changed lives. He's changed, people,
yes.
whole little world view. So it's just like, I definitely do think he could have went better about that. But hey,
Yeah. I'm
we
not
move
Boy,
feeling
on,
it.
I guess.
Yeah.
what's funny about it is that not a lot of people knew even about the shoe or even about like the
Mm.
context of it. I was listening to, and again, everybody knows I'm just there for Mona. I'm listening to the Just Joe Budden podcast. Okay,
It's a guilty pleasure.
I don't know why you say it like that. Like
no,
it's horrible.
because
I
I
think a
was one of
lot
the
more
people who
people
was
listen.
shamed. I was shamed of
Oh,
people's when they said they listened to it. I
I
shamed the
never did because
peoples.
I
I
knew what
shamed
they
the
was listening
peoples. No,
for.
if a nigga told me he listened to Joe Rogan or Joe Budden podcast, I'm immediately looking at you with a heavy side eye. 'Cause
Hmm.
So that was just it for me. I just,
Well.
unfortunately, Mona, I listened to Don't Call Me White Girl, and oh, funny enough, and we'll pivot a little bit off this, but speaking of relationships, apparently her and Breakbeat Media had like a big falling out, and Joe Budden has been like helping her kind of through that situation, because if y'all not listeners of podcasts, but she was with Breakbeat Media from when she first came out with the podcast.
Yeah, I've been aware of it.
Yeah, when she like blew up and like hand on frontal, all that stuff, like when she was really blowing up with the comedy and stuff, that was who she was doing everything with. And I noticed that once she really started linking up with the Joe Budden podcast, the episodes on that started becoming real slow, and she would kind of allude to certain stuff, but obviously it's like her main team who she usually shoots with. And then she said something on the Joe Budden podcast. His lawyer called. His lawyer had called on the pod, and he was like, Mona, I need to talk to you. He was like, I actually need to talk to you about something. And then right after that, that was when she had did the big shift. It's now called the Don't Call Me White Girl show, not the Don't Call Me White Girl podcast. They've broken ties and they've gone their separate ways. And she's actually, alluded to it. If y'all see me on Breakbeat, that's not me. Da, 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 da. And it's like, I don't think she owns any of that content. Like, she had to sign something, and so we get in these points where we're talking about people not knowing enough.
Everything, right?
Not being able to know that all of that content, all of that, it's not, you don't own it. It's not yours. And so she be talking about it now in these newer episodes of like how this has happened. But I appreciate how you yourself in the space of like how you move with Joe Budden. Like, you help other people here in Oklahoma a lot. Janae, myself, a couple other people who I probably don't even know about. You've really positioned yourself in a way that you've really helped a lot of creatives without taking advantage. And I just wanted to give you your flowers on that side.
Oh, thank you.
And let you know that people really do appreciate it, especially in times of this where people are taking advantage.
Yes, I'm about to start bugging you my damn self. From
Yeah, you're welcome.
I be trying not to. I'm not gonna hold.
He doesn't like it.
No.
I personally don't care. I be like, if you are someone who you told me this thing, whether you meant it in jest or not, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna pull on that streak.
I realize as I get older how much anxiety I have relying on other people. That's what it is for me. And so it's like, sometimes I don't even, you could tell me that you will this, and I'll be like, no, let me sit there and wait till I actually need them. I don't want to bug them for Like, I'm just naturally like that. I think some of that is my upbringing, if I'm being honest. But I mean, it's just me naturally being like, I can do it, I can take care of it, or feeling like I need all my ducks in a row in order to bring people on. That's another thing too. Is like,
we can't do it, and we can't do it all. Like, as we go and
for sure, and like
I'm all of the things and all of the roles. It gets you'll split yourself in half.
It gets to be a lot, and that's why I'm like, that's what I'm saying, Mike. Please,
no, you. So if I say, call me. So I remember the last time we actually talked about this in a similar context. We did the thing with the thunder when we were all on the panel.
Yeah.
And I was like, if you need anything, whatever. I don't say that and not mean it, because you guys are so talented, and there are so many talented people here that are kind of spinning their wheels. You guys have direction, like, right? You know exactly where you want to go. You just might need to help push the cart out the mud. I don't mind getting dirty to help do that.
Okay.
Love that.
So when I say those things, and that doesn't come with a fee, you know what I mean? Like, when the budget comes, we'll talk about that when the budget comes, but you need help now. I have more than enough, so I can give away this thing that I have to help somebody else, because there may be a time in the future, and hey, I need you to read this script for proofread whatever it is, and Ronnie and I do that for each other. When he came by, he hit me up and said, hey, I need some photos, like, come by studio, whatever day. Come by studio, we knock it out, we talking, laughing, catching up, whatever. He was like, how much I owe you? You don't owe me nothing. You're my friend. I want to support what you do.
Yeah.
And vice versa. If I call him, I'm like, how much do I owe you? He's like, I can't accept no payment. I don't know what you mean. So I think when we build towards that, and really the commodity there is our ability to do what we do well. Like, it's really a trade, right? So there's still compensation taking place.
Right.
And I think as long as there are people who are willing to do that with the intent of support and help and care about the artistic community as a whole, I don't have no problem helping if your intentions are good. Now, if you end up trying to take advantage of me, then we're gonna have a different conversation.
Okay, so Mike, I was about to say I love everything that you're saying. I agree.
Let's
I
get
think
into
also
it.
something that you said that triggered exactly like my answer as to why I don't is because you said like when I say something, I mean it.
Mm-hmm.
And I think I've navigated people just talking. And
Most of
so
the time, that's
it
the
puts
case.
me in respectfully, I think, and we talked about this a long time ago in the scope of sometimes when we all and a bunch of creatives get together, one of the ways that small talk happens is over promising or just like opening up certain topics. Just maybe you just want to chat regularly, but some people just do the whole like camaraderie in the
Like, oh my
fake
God, we should
notion of
work
like,
together.
oh
Like,
yeah,
this is
like
what's up.
I want to
I
help
Mhm.
her,
miss you.
and it's
When are
like
we
whole
gonna
time you didn't
do
even really want to do that though. You just said that
Right.
because it was just in that moment. Like I have navigated that, and I'm like, oh,
See,
all
mine's
right.
been the opposite. I've been navigating people who I thought we both had good intentions
Oh, I've navigated that too.
to do good work and to be of service to each other. So I might
Mhm.
overextend myself in other areas more than I would for other people, and
Mhm.
it has bitten me in the ass all of 2025.
Mhm.
And so now I'm kind of at a point where it's like, whether I believe in it or not, you now sign these papers, give me my money.
I
It's
don't have no problem with that
you know
because the other thing that I've been so this is my rule. If there's a budget, you're gonna pay me.
okay.
Mhm. So
If
is that
there's
actually
not
one of
a,
the first things that you ask
I'm
upon
asking,
someone?
Yeah.
is there a budget?
Mhm.
No, we're doing this because I'm gonna try to go get some money. Okay, so I don't mind helping, but let's talk about what happens when the money comes.
Mm.
Mhm.
Or if I just want to do something cool and I look at it and be like, can I put this in my portfolio? Yeah, this is going to be good. I'll be able to get some work with this work. So absolutely, I'll help you. Um, if it's us, if y'all like, hey, I need some help, I'm just coming. I'm coming. I'm
Mhm.
not asking about none of that because I'm confident that that's going to be taken care of. You'd be like, oh, I forgot to tell you it paid this much. Okay, cool. But I'm coming on the strength of the relationship first, not anything,
Yeah.
not anything else. So I try to evaluate it. It works sometimes. Sometimes it doesn't. Like with the Afropop stuff with Jamel, I reached out to him and be like, I love what you're doing.
Yeah.
This
Mhm.
is how much I charge, but we ain't finna worry about that. I want to do this for you because I think this is about to do something amazing and I think it benefits
And
the
it is.
community.
Do
I'll
you
talk to you
know
offline about that.
even in the space of you saying that, I love that you just said that because I think you just touched on the proper format into opening up the business relationship and the friend.
Hmm.
Like you're almost giving an option in the way of like, hey, and also a disclaimer of I love what you do. I think I could be of use, but also this is what I charge regularly. I don't even want to look at that though. I want us to rock with each other. And if you feel comfortable, we can do a mutual type of trade for trade.
Right.
Or
Yeah.
and if not, you can refer back to this. Like
Right.
that dynamic and that format of like opening up those type of things is I love it. Because at some point I felt like I was over talking
Yeah,
or
yeah, yeah.
overdoing, and then it's like, oh no, this is actually like standard. I think you guys are not understanding what I'm
Which is
saying.
something we run into a lot. I feel like here in Oklahoma, just it's a tendency of people not knowing industry standard or not caring
Yes.
about
Yeah.
industry standard,
Yeah.
Yeah.
because it's Oklahoma industry standard, and it's like that's
Hmm.
not that. You go anywhere else trying to do this is not going to
That's
work the
not
way
gonna
you
happen.
think this is going to work. And so I think me and Danique sometimes run into a lot of people who
That is
no,
like just
like
used to
yeah,
doing
like in
it, kind of like
or her case,
the
it's
homey way
the
that you said
yeah, like the
earlier.
model contract thing. I know was a lot of pushback for Danique, and that's basic.
Yeah, I was gonna ask you that. Do you use model releases?
It depends on who I'm working with. For the most part, I have been pretty successful not
Not
doing
needing them.
anything contractually because
Mhm.
I have a very specific conversation up front.
Hmm. Okay.
Okay.
And I've
Is
been
the
told that
conversation that of the model release?
the
Like,
conversation is this is the frame within which you can use this.
okay.
Okay. Yeah.
Outside of
So
that, you can't use this outside of that.
so yeah, just not
Yeah.
they're not signing, but you're verbally saying
With a
basically what you would
verbal
say. Yeah.
Mm.
absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Do you feel like you get that respect because of maybe the space that you're in now? Because I know like the conversation sometimes with even like me and Denique's level is like people will push back, and it's
Yeah, I
like,
got a lot of
why?
pushback.
This is
On
basic.
a model contract.
Mhm.
Just you get to use these on Instagram, and I own the pictures, and I can do whatever I want with them within reason. If it
The fact that you said I own the pictures. So here's what it is. And I even in the process of giving the model releases, I will say if you have any questions, call me, text me, whatever, because I know that sometimes what is it, like law speech or whatever,
Jargon, yeah, the
Mhm.
yeah,
jargon
it
of the
Law
just be
law.
like,
jargon.
yeah, yeah. So when you say things like your likeness or I'm using your blah blah blah, like it
Mhm.
signals to them that it's like I'm saying that I own your brand or I own
Right, right,
whatever. And it's like, no, but you have to understand within the scope of your image, that is likeness, that is, you know what I'm saying? So it's just touching on all of the things. And
right,
yes, it'll have like, I own this. Like you respectfully,
right.
you didn't come up with the idea. Yeah, I'm reaching out to you. Like,
Like
if you
you're
let
just a contractor in this sense. Like you are a contractor
correct, at this
hiring
point, it's
you
like a
and or
trade for a
needing
trade.
you for your services. And I've
Right.
seen her
And
deal with a
I've gotten
lot of
some pushback.
pushback. Like a lot of
I'm not gonna
pushback.
like, for
That's
me,
interesting.
that was one of the things that not sat me down, but in the way of like made me research a little bit more to ensure like I'm not tripping, right? Like, you know what I'm saying?
No, you're
So
not.
once I had the moments and I did research, that's when I came back to you and was like, I'm not the problem. Like
Hmm.
it's the scope of what how we move here that's the
Yep.
problem. And it made me be like, well, I don't know how to navigate if you guys don't want to do base level
Business,
things.
yeah.
Yeah, because I'm ultimately trying to protect both of us. It's not me I'm
Hmm.
only trying to protect. Like, I want to make sure you're aware of what all you're getting. You're getting all these images.
Yeah.
I'm not
Hmm.
Let's
making
talk
boo boo,
about it.
y'all. Damn.
And I was talking to somebody about your work earlier and talking about how much I like it. And they asked me if you were still shooting. And I said, well, I haven't seen a whole bunch from her now that you mention it.
And you know what, Mike? I'm about to get back on it. That's why we having these damn questions and
That's what I
conversations.
like to
But
hear. That's what
yes,
I like to I want to
everything is
help.
going to get flushed out and everything. I had to sit down and because I how we talked
Well,
about earlier, everybody
if
does multitask,
you need my help
multiple.
on that side, like talking to them or finding models that you won't have difficulty with, let me know because I always got a pocket full of
Okay,
women ready
And
to shoot.
I will say
perfect.
I do enjoy the models you've been working with lately. I love their
I was gonna
Thank
faces.
say,
I
you.
yeah,
love their
yes.
looks. They've been really good. I feel like they are models who, and again, going back to the Oklahoma of it all, there are people here who I remember even when I was coming up, they're like, I'm a model. And I'm like, I don't know what
Where?
model you're thinking of, maybe commercial. And then they don't even know what commercial is. And so it's like, okay,
I try to be super sensitive to that. I know I remember a conversation I had with someone so early on that it reaffirmed what I was thinking because they came in like, I want to be a model, or they were dealing with some other photographer or something. They were like, is this proper for them to be using my pictures for blah blah blah? And I was like, well, did y'all sign a model release? And she was like, what is
Hmm.
that? And I was like, okay,
Hmm.
well, we'll talk about that after. But go through the things. And she just was like, I feel like I should have been paid. And I was like,
and Danique already know my
well,
thoughts on that.
I
I'm
was
saying, your
like,
pictures aren't even signed.
I just was like, I feel like sometimes you can't go off of that. It goes off the portfolio. Like how
It
good.
does, but even then, you are
It's
signed.
extra
When
back.
you
Yeah,
are
for sure it's
signed,
extra.
you generally go in that route. You are signed. For you models here in Oklahoma, not even to say some of
Everywhere.
you, or everywhere really,
Just new start. New
you
start
have to
models.
move with some type of, y'all don't even be having comp cards. That for me just like if we're gonna talk real and you saying you are valid in this space, well let's
Look,
talk real. You
I'm
don't
not,
have this, you don't have that, I'm cutting you a service, hush and sign the paper.
I am
That'd be for
not.
like I just we gotta start talking seriousness. And at some point here in Oklahoma, we have to be freaking serious. People here, if you're not in a space, the models I've seen you working with, I could see them in certain covers. I could see them in Teen Vogue. I can see
Yeah.
them in certain
Yeah.
spaces. The
Mhm.
rest of yous, it's on Instagram, and that's as far as it's gonna go.
I
um, I mean,
So
ultimately, I told them if you want to charge, that is totally your prerogative, right? Because this, in your mind, if you're taking it seriously, you're building up to this thing, then for sure you get to that point. But I was like, but you have to understand with what you request, you have to provide reason.
yep.
And I don't see a portfolio. And I said, so
Right.
the stage you're in right now is actually foundation. It is not requesting things. So
Yep.
respectfully, no to what you're saying. Like you kind of got to put
Oh.
some grit and grind in a little bit before you can start asking for stuff. And I was just like,
Yeah.
that's just what it is. That's in starting anything. It's not just
Well,
this realm.
you guys are 100% right across the board. So let me say a couple of things.
Like, let me do a dance. Hold on, y'all don't see me right now,
No,
but
you
I'm looking
guys
like
are.
them inflatable tube people
It's
on the
been,
freaking
but
parking lot.
that was my point earlier though. I feel like people respect you in
I appreciate
in
that.
all that you've done, and so you won't necessarily maybe deal with something. But even Ronnie, like I don't feel like because of how they're viewed here in the state, people will approach
They'll
them with
try
more
you.
respect
They
than
won't try you,
others, and
but
it's
they'll
like,
try you
yeah,
if
Mhm.
like
they're not
they're
you.
just gonna try and see, and that's it. Yeah, but go ahead.
I know you guys, thank you for the kind words, but you guys are right across the board. Okay, so let me Chicago, New York, LA. This is where I do most of my work with agencies.
Mm-hmm.
I've never signed anything from the agency.
Mhm.
They've never sent me a contract when I want to pull somebody. They send me, I reach out to them, send the mood board. They show me who's available. I make my selects. They tell me of those selects who is available and who isn't. They got the time. The model shows up. We shoot. It's dope. I invoice. 90 days later, I get my money. I haven't
Mhm.
signed anything. So the contract doesn't, so there doesn't have to be a contract if we're all operating at the same standard, right?
I guess I just don't be trusting y'all standards, and so you got
But
stuff.
That's the point.
that's the point though. Is yeah,
That's the
like
whole point.
people. He said it though. New York, Chicago,
Yeah,
L.A. They all move at a
in
certain
the
standard because it's known and those foundations. And I guess I'll give
mhm.
grace a little bit because here in Oklahoma there aren't a lot of pillars. That was the reason why I left at one point with the fashion. There's
Hmm.
not a lot of pillars that you really can kind of cling on to and kind of ride it up.
Right? Because we're
Mhm.
trying to build it, right?
We are, and
Right,
we
But we're
are
literally starting from scratch in the middle of the
correct.
right.
country with no ocean anywhere.
Nothing.
Right?
Mhm.
We don't have the skyline.
Nope.
We don't have the
Yeah,
downtown
Mm-mm.
yeah.
aesthetic, and we're making it happen from scratch. So I applaud those efforts. And there are a lot of people who are serious. There are
Yeah.
also there are also among those serious people, there's a lot of inexperience. So
Mhm.
people are learning on the job. I don't have any problem with that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I agree with that.
When you approach a model to complete an idea, the model doesn't understand how high level the work that she's getting in return is.
Mm-hmm.
She's getting pictures and she's comparing you to everybody else that she sees on Instagram. She hasn't developed an understanding of the medium to be able to say, well, I probably should have paid Danique $700 for these photos. And she shot them for me
Right.
on GP to complete her idea. So this payment
Yeah.
is equivalent to $700. So I need to be right. That's not what's happening consistently. And we don't always have the time to educate them to that effect because we still got to get up and go to work in the morning. I need to get this
Right.
stuff done because I got
Thank
to
you.
edit it,
Yeah.
Right.
whatever the case may be. So I've been working more diligently on the education side to explain the difference between commercial and editorial and in a fit model and a fitness model and just breaking down these categories so that these individuals can decide what lane they want to go into or lanes they best fit.
Mm-hmm.
And I think so that's that. The other thing that you guys are doing, Kiara specifically, is we have to use plain talk with these people. Like
Yeah, heavy on that.
if the model is not an editorial model,
Mm-hmm.
why are we telling them that they can be an editorial model?
And
Why
that,
are we
yes, yes.
what if this model is not a fit if you want to be a fitness model
Mm-hmm.
but you still have 15 more pounds to go, why are we not being honest with these people?
And I think I got pushed back a lot when I first came home when I tried to say that. And I felt like I was
Mm.
even trying to say it as delicately as I could. Like, this isn't editorial. This is this. This is just like there has to be certain elements to make this a little bit more
Right,
editorial. And I would
right,
get a lot of pushback as like, I'm not being a team player. I'm not. Because it does get to a point where it's like, I'm trying to come up too. I don't have the time to educate you. I had to
right,
educate myself.
Right.
right.
So it's like at some point I would imagine some people would maybe try and educate themselves on it, but yes, I do agree, sometimes talking in layman terms
I think that
helps.
also, and that's like a double-edged sword too, because you'll project your passion and
Mhm.
need to know the whys onto other people.
Mhm.
And
Mm,
they don't come into, I'm seeing that specifically with creative fields and industries, there are quite a lot of people who just come in for the grandeur of it all. Like it's not
Yeah.
necessarily the why. I don't care about the why. I don't want to get and learn the knowledge of like how this is coming to be. I just want the fame. I just want the money. I just you know what I'm saying? Like so it's like some of that, I don't know, I feel like you got to deal with those type of people too, because even as you
hmm
try to like give them grace, like, oh, you're new or you're blah blah blah, like some people genuinely don't want to do all of that, like, or
No, they
even
don't.
hear you
Cause
out.
I did try. Like there were some people who I tried to educate on like, this is what Fashion Week actually looks like. This is how you emulate this thing, and all of
For
my
sure.
hard work and presentation was. It says
I
so.
think
It
that
says so. Do you just want to be on the thing? And I was like, oh, okay. Like it was this.
I,
It,
I'm very picky. I'm very selective on who I work with at this
Mhm.
stage.
yeah,
I'm
that's fair.
super picky. I'm only going to shoot you at no cost if I think that the work we produce can make me more can make me money. Can I take this? Because when I go to New York, I meet with the agents. I take my book. Hey, what's going on? How you guys doing? This is my new stuff in my book. And they go through the book like, oh, whatever it is. And I have a ton of Oklahoma women and men in there
Hmm.
because I want to bring these talented people with me. So if I can't do that, then I'm not working with the person locally. You can pay me, and you're not gonna like what I quote you, but
Mhm.
it's okay. It's okay that if you don't,
But
maybe
that's
let's
like
work
not the
toward that.
market you're in either. And that also is a notion of that. Like you're not in the like the commission based in the way of like, hey, can you shoot my birthday party? Hey, can you shoot
Oh
the
yeah, I don't do that.
you're not doing that.
Yeah,
And that's what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like being a fashion photographer or editorial photographer, being a regular event photographer, being a commercial photographer,
correct.
being all of these things are not the same, y'all. Like
Not
I've
the
had
same.
people, and you got to understand that depending on who you go to, specifically what their specialty is, that quote baseline is always going to be the quote that reflects the thing that they do. It's not
Right.
going to be a, oh, right
Personal
now,
type of thing.
yeah,
Yeah.
like
It's
I've
never
had people get
personal.
mad at me because you want me to pull up to your event, but I give you my quote for photo shoots in because that's what I'm doing day to day.
Right.
And now it's like, oh, I didn't expect for it to be that much. But I'm like, what do you
That's not your
okay, I
client.
guess. Like
Yeah.
the day, like what do
But
you
they'll like
Yeah.
push
right?
back, or then you get dubbed. Oh, you think you're better than, or oh, you think you are, in a certain space, and it's like,
Yeah.
nah,
Ain't
I'm just
nobody said no
moving.
better than stuff. I hate that. Like, respectfully, I just gave you the quote. That's literally it.
Well,
Like,
that's how that person feels. And
Yeah,
one, it's not your job to manage anybody else's emotions.
right,
heavy.
That's not your responsibility. You give
right.
them the answer and they can do what they want to with it. Um, the client, your client, the person that you give them the quote and they say, okay, where do I send the retainer?
Exactly.
That's your client. And we just have to work towards putting ourselves in those spaces more regularly. There are fewer of those clients here, more of those
Mm,
clients in other places. Competition is going to be heavy, but every person that has left Oklahoma or does work outside of Oklahoma that I know has done a really good job of competing in these larger markets. We can do it. New York photographers, LA photographers, even Miami, they're not better than us. They just have access.
And they not.
correct. So, what's your take on that
Once
though? Like people having to leave, like having to leave, because
it's
that touches on a little bit of it. Like sometimes you have to leave.
if you want to shoot fashion, you're not gonna shoot fashion here. Like I've
Yeah.
done as much as I can do. There's only so much I can do here,
Correct.
Yeah.
and I think
Especially
I've
with
pushed
fashion
it.
editorial. You like
Yeah.
you, yeah.
Yeah, there's only
It's a
so much
cat.
I can. There's only so much I can do here, but I can go in any corner in New York and shoot whatever editorial I want to. I find a designer walking down the street.
Yeah.
It's insane the level of access. That's the difference.
Okay.
It's the level of access, quality, and the quality that is a result of what you have access to,
That's a good point. Yeah.
right? So LA, you've got all of these people that go to LA specifically to be seen and heard. You can access those people much easier. Chicago, if you're shooting hair and beauty, you can bump into those people on the street. New
Mm-hmm.
York, editorials are everywhere. Miami, if you want to shoot swim, you all you gotta do is go to Miami Beach. You will bump into somebody who's involved in that specific area, and you can start creating lanes to get in yourself. There isn't a lane here. Like, we're literally inventing it as we go here. And I'm super proud of everybody that's putting the effort in, which is why I like to help. But if you want to make money,
Mm-hmm.
you don't have to
You gotta be
leave.
honest. You
Yeah.
gotta be honest.
Yeah.
I've always said, like, I'm definitely pro Oklahoma just because look, we all Okies. Like, come on now, you gotta
Right.
be for the home team. But I've always said that I will not wait for them to catch up because that means that I'm now putting
Oh, yeah,
that
yeah.
on everybody, like, the outside. And at the end of the day, I'm trying to do what I need to do and I need to be wherever I need to be. And if it is not Oklahoma, then that's just what it is.
That's
And
You
I
can always
think there's,
come back too.
yeah, yeah. And I think it's a time to beat your chest. Like, I was asking Ronnie the other day, I said, I said, is Neat gonna color the next movie? Because I like the way you grade. Like,
Mhm. Thank
I
you.
I love your work. So there is a time, Kiera, to beat your chest. You understand fashion and styling
Bro.
really, really well, and you don't do any of it here, which is okay.
I don't do
Which
it
is okay.
anymore. I don't do it anymore, and she's already
You
been on
ain't
my head about it.
and
Yeah, I was gonna say I'm not gonna start because I understand that we're in these ebbs and these flows and like you know what I'm saying of it all. But yeah.
Yeah,
right.
soon come,
So
soon
I'm
come,
just
soon come.
saying, at least you haven't done it for me. So I don't know who else you've done it for. I'm
Ooh,
not.
ooh. Beep, boop, boop. Is
So
that shots fired, Mike?
with that, I don't know. I don't know.
I just
I
said,
ducked my
call
head a little
me.
bit.
You ain't called me.
Did
You
duck.
ain't called me. You ain't called me for
Did
it.
that. Man.
Call me for it. Nah, I do agree.
So
I feel you on that. I like hearing it too, especially for Danique, because Danique sometimes I feel like uh doesn't hype herself up enough. Like like she's been in the,
yeah.
you know what I mean? Like she's. I used to tell
I
her
And
try
the
to
in the
graphic
skate.
design and the photography, like all of these things, because again, it's all the
Yes.
same
Yes.
things,
yeah,
the
it's always
talent that goes into different lanes, right?
Correct.
And
yeah.
you can do this stuff well. So I think there's a time when you beat your chest, and one of those times is when you is when you send your rates.
Yeah,
That's a
sitting
good
the
point.
rates out in
So
a minute.
I think
I ain't
that's
even
my
gonna hold
problem
you.
right now, though, when it comes to all of the things that I do, when it comes to like producing, writing, and all of the things, and when people call on me, and that's why I said last year was really hard for me because I was trying to just put
Yeah.
myself out there, ingratiate myself in the film community here in Oklahoma,
Hmm.
but at the same time, people would see my talent and see how beneficial I could be to them, and I would do it off of like, okay, cool, we're at this point, it sounds like we're gonna move from here, and I'm equally gonna be like, this is usually my rate, I'm willing to maybe even give me my rate, or and I'll maybe do a little bit more on this end, because I'm cool with it. Or other times where I'm like, I don't feel like I have the resume to back this up. I have the knowledge, I'm
Hmm.
educated in it, I have a degree, I have these things, but I don't be know how to rate myself in that sense. And so it's like, it's really a mind conundrum for me, is like to where I can place
Yeah.
myself in certain spaces. Even with styling, like if I have to get back into it, like I'm like, I haven't done it in so long. Like I don't even
Okay.
feel valid in like charging anyone a certain rate, because it would just be like, I'd rather just get a couple mood boards off, see where I'm back at again, and then maybe if it
Hmm.
was like a
Hmm.
company
I
or a
mean,
model or
but that makes
agency.
sense. Even that's something in itself. Like you saying that, like you're okay. It sounds like with not even giving a rate out for a stint of time, maybe
Yeah, but I just
for you
don't
to
know
get.
how that looks in that space now, or even like I said with producing. Producing is such an intangible thing here, and because no one is
Hmm.
educated on what a producer is, and or all of the different types of producing.
Some people be feeling intimidated or feeling like you trying to price them out, and it's like actually no, that's
And
just
it's
what this is. Like
again, like I said, with producing is so hard because it is very intangible. Like I don't, there's a portion of it in pre-production that I don't have necessarily something to be like, I'm going to give you this and this, and
Right.
visibly see and say, oh, I'm being charged for this, unless I was like a
Right.
line producer, I'm giving you a
Right.
budget.
Mhm.
Right.
Versus with producing a film, a campaign, or anything like that, a lot of that is intangible. I'm just setting meetings, I'm calling the right people, I'm doing the things in that scope, and some people don't feel like that's payable or feel like there's value in it, and it's really hard
Hmm.
sometimes here in Oklahoma to, that I've seen here lately, that I'm just really trying to navigate, because I have
Hmm.
been taken advantage and I'm out thousands of dollars now.
So what would your normal rate be for producing?
For producing, it will be, and see, that's the other thing, is like, what am I producing? Am I producing a campaign?
Well,
Am I
well, that's what I
producing
was
a
about to
short
say.
film? Am I producing a line budget? Like, what are these elements? But because, again, people are not educated when they come to me, I'm asking them certain questions,
And you can't get a gauge off of it
and I
yourself.
can't get a
Mhm.
gauge,
Right.
To
or
be
there may
able to
be,
give them a
Yeah.
price.
or
Yeah.
people are sending people to me. Like, people now know,
Mhm.
okay, oh, or even with the social media of it all. I've had people be like, oh, I want you to edit my stuff, or I want you to do these things for me. And I'm like, I
Mhm.
would charge you for that. Like, one, I don't even like editing. So
I was about
I'm
to
not
say
even
some stuff. I'm
about,
saying no, I don't want
yeah,
to
I
do
was like,
that.
I'm
That's
not
an
even
extra
going to
thing.
fool around with that. Like, I do social media because I enjoy it. It's fun for me. And I get
Yeah.
free things. I'm not making a lot of money from it. So it's like, that's not something I would
yeah.
really
Right.
put myself
Right.
out there for. But having conversations, when people send people to me, they be like, okay, I want to do this, and that, and the third. And I'm like, okay, cool. If it was
I do.
television, if it was film, I could
Mhm.
charge back in points. I could,
Right.
like we
Right.
can have those conversations of that. With some of the stuff people want here, I'll be like, okay, like, I
So
kind of understand what you're saying. Like,
let's be a little more specific. Let's be a little more specific.
okay.
And I have an ulterior motive. Okay.
I knew you were gonna say. I knew
Uh,
it.
okay. A 100 page script for a Tubi movie with a $30,000 budget.
You want a line producer? You want an executive producer, or do you want a co-producer? Yeah, executive producer in that space is, I'm coming in at you when you basically have like, we're gonna take that script of 100 pages, and we're gonna actually make sure the script is ready before we do anything else.
Right,
We'll
right.
start there. So you're getting creative producing inside of executive producing. Line producing is, we're talking budgets, we're talking, numbers.
Right.
Co-producer is liaisoning, I would say, a little
Right.
bit more.
Right.
I don't have as much responsibility. Maybe I'm talking a little bit more to your executive producer, and
Right.
we are in tandem of talking and planning meetings and setting things up. Or, hey, you're like, I really need someone in the wardrobe department. Okay, here's a couple of people that I know.
Right.
They're their rates. These are the people you can set up meetings for.
Right.
That's
Right.
kind of the thing, because a lot of people have said, like, you just seem to know everybody who does something, and I have taken that on in my producing, and know that is a piece of that. I can.
What would your rate be though? You just did the
Yeah,
whole.
I'm waiting for the money.
Yeah, like we talking.
But
yeah,
I didn't know.
You didn't got off of. I'm like, hold on. You
Okay,
giving us
wait. So what is
definitions.
executive
We didn't need
producing
good
or
definitions.
line producing? What do you want? I guess.
So give me your rate for each of those things.
Right. That's what I would.
Executive producing, I would say probably like 6.
Mm-hmm.
Line 2, co
Okay.
4.
Okay.
That's generally because line producing, I'm just kind of coming. Line producing and UPMing are kind of the same. So unit production manager. So
Yeah.
2 to 3, depending. Again, now we're talking back end points. We can kind of flesh out the contract from there.
Okay.
But yeah, for the most part, those are
bad
generally
numbers. I don't know.
I don't.
Having that conversation with smaller budgets is a lot harder, though.
Yeah, it is. It is
It's a lot harder
For
to have those
sure,
conversations.
but as far as like, so like you didn't even do 10% of the 30, right? So you already are having like a percentage thing in your mind. You can go based off of that if they tell you the budget.
Yes.
And if they don't, and then they got the budget at some point later, then you already know what percentage,
And in shorts too.
But we still got some numbers. We still got some numbers though.
We did.
Right.
We did get some numbers.
We did get numbers.
We did.
Okay.
So
Danique, what's your number? What are your numbers to edit and same budget, same Tubi movie situation?
Oh, and color
What's your
grade?
number to color grade and edit? Say they want you to do both.
Do you edit it?
I might decline that edit.
Yeah.
Okay, if you decline the edit.
I don't even like editing. Color grading, automatic temper. I'm gonna do like 7% of the budget, maybe 10.
Because post-production,
because I feel like color grading
accurate.
is like big. Like that's not a light ass job. And on top of that, even like dealing in the space that I have thus far, it is a lot of on-callness that you kind of have to be. Like there's like you got to be ready at any moment for you to get another like scene or total shifts in scenes, which means total lighting changes, which means global changes are not global anymore.
That's right.
I'm gonna hit you with that
I
7
mean,
to
in post production,
10%.
as a line producer, that's generally like a good 20 to 30% of your budget is post.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So
I
that's not
mean,
in
but imagine the editing or the editor would have,
depends on
like,
the type
based
of
off of
project.
just hierarchy, that they obviously like either at me or
Depends.
higher.
It
Like,
depends if you're going to a post production house. What are you doing
Mm-hmm.
and all that
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
stuff.
it's like I don't know.
Yeah,
It
it just
yeah.
depends. But
But I feel like
oh yeah,
anything lower than, because like the color grade is big, just as big as the editing, just as big. You know what I'm saying? That's not a light ass thing. That's like if somebody, I've always thought it too with the graphic design side. If someone wants to come to me to do a logo, respectfully, I am now at the $1,000 upwards logos. Like I can't necessarily, because
that's
the
true.
way that my mind works, I'm actually trying to anticipate your brand identity. And
Mm-hmm.
like, I know
Mm-hmm.
some people are not doing that. They just get the logo, it's a one off and blah, blah, blah. But I cannot function like that. That's not how my creative process pulls. You have to have, like, I'm asking your whys, your hows, your placement. How are we like, how does this function in the real world? This is what makes a good logo to me. So I feel like, I don't know, 10% for color grading, yeah, for sure.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
10% max, I'll say.
I
Until
think
I
it's
get to that one.
I asked y'all that because it's important to have your number.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I
Yeah,
agree.
I've had my numbers. They've kind of been increasing, but I just
Yeah,
I
and that's my second point. I think it's important to price yourself out of local jobs.
hmm. That's
and
a
that's
that's a
why I
good point.
said
That's actually a good point. Because even when I quoted the person 2,000 for the line budget,
you
like
got pushback.
I got pushed and I still haven't gotten it.
I helped a stylist.
I still haven't gotten it.
I helped a stylist. It was a local gig. And I helped the stylist put together her, she asked my opinion and I gave it to her and I told her to be around 2 grand. And she ended up getting it locally, but that's not common locally.
No,
So
yeah,
I think it's important for us to be really, really confident with our pricing and
Mhm.
price ourselves out of the local jobs so that when you get local jobs at that rate, it's worthwhile.
that's fair.
Very
No,
much
I
I
agree
agree.
with
Yes,
that.
I heavily agree with
I
that.
heavily agree with that.
Funny
That's a good
enough,
point.
you saying that just reminded me of a whole conversation I had around like 21, 22 with my mother. So yeah, because she's always been like, at the end of the day, you have to make something like
Yeah,
for
Right.
yourself.
Yeah.
we still
And
have to have roofs over our heads and
right,
food in
and
our
like
bellies as creatives. Like we still have to
at
like you
some
said,
point, it
deal with the
felt like I
capitalistic
was.
industry.
Exactly. We don't
I
really
mean,
get
we
to
do.
absolve ourselves from that. And so
Yeah,
it's like when you have to have a roof over your head and this thing is probably your main thing. And it felt like at some point, even with me knowing my rates and what I was worth, that I was unintentionally pricing myself out.
Mm-hmm.
It was
Yep.
like, that's not, I know this feels like this right now, but you're going to have to sit for it with this uncomfort for just a little bit.
Yep.
and sometimes
Because
that
Yep.
comes
it's
with a
just,
slowness, like of not maybe
yeah.
getting work and you having to
But
navigate that
Yeah.
feeling
Yeah.
of like,
also, it's
which is what was
reinforcing what
me
the
for
hell the
styling.
market should
Yeah,
be.
that was me for
That's
styling. I felt like I couldn't find the right people. I couldn't pull on the contacts I had in New York as much. So I was just like, I'm gonna sit
Mm-hmm.
down. I'm gonna
Mm-hmm.
pivot a little bit. So
Yep.
I'm gonna wait till y'all.
yeah, I'm gonna wait till y'all
And
kind of
sure enough,
understand
some
it.
years later, when I'm getting rates, now I'm hearing y'all rates are reflecting more so the rate that I had 2 years ago. But y'all just,
Right.
so it's like it's interesting to see,
Yep. Which
be a
means
part
your
of as
rate
well.
should go higher because their rate changed because of
I
inflation, not
just
because
told
of
her that.
improved
I just told
skill.
Ex Ooh,
I just told
say
her
that again.
because
Not
she said
because
that
of
to me, and I said,
improved
"Well, oh, it sounded
skills.
like you need to go up." I
Yeah,
literally, you telling me that? I said like you need to go up. So yeah,
yeah.
no, I agree. That's very
Just
good
have, yeah.
advice, I think, to the people. And as we round out this last final segment, which is our "Be So Fucking For Real" segment, it's basically a segment where you can either talk to yourself about something you need to be for real about, like whether it be your confidence or whatnot, or you could just talk to the people and say "Be so for real." We've talked to
It could be
Wingstop,
light, it could be
we've
deep,
talked
it
to
could
Taco
be.
Bell,
Yeah,
we've said
I've
some
shouted.
moment,
I've said
yeah,
some Wingstop got some some shots fired for me. So
yeah,
it could be light.
or
It could be
yeah,
little.
the people who've also been in the city where we talked about instances that we've dealt with. My $2,000 that's missing, he was definitely be so
Mm.
fucking real. So yeah, it's just a little segment where
You're gonna get
as
that
we
though.
close it out, we just like to say like, what would you like to tell the people, whether it's a scenario or whatnot, or to yourself, something you need to be for real
Uh,
about, or how they come correct.
this is for all of us, me included.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Stop lying to yourself about how good you are.
ooh, y'all, if I could just blow up right now the bits off. Like, just for the extra dramatic. That's so I
Ooh. Okay, what spurred that comment?
said, where'd that come from?
Where did that come from? Have you been feeling
I,
the spirit?
I am excited to see people excited about creating.
Mhm.
I love it. I have also noticed that these people who are excited have been shooting the same way for 3 or 4 or 5 years with very little growth.
Mm.
And I'm eager to see the growth. I would rather not see them take the same photo over and over and over again. And
That's fair. That's fair. Yeah.
I want whatever they want for themselves is what I want for them. What I would like to see is them study
Mhm.
whatever area they want to be really good at
Yeah.
and be your own worst critic and not believe that you're the best at whatever this thing is that you've really only done for 4 years, when we have photographers and filmmakers and other creatives who are 40 and 50 years in who are still
Mhm.
trying to create their best work.
Mhm.
Right. I love that.
Yeah.
You
Be
know,
for
as a
real.
creative, hey, as a creative, the sun does not rise and set in your ass. You got to work.
It don't.
It sure
You
It
got to
don't.
literally don't. That would be
It
mega
sure don't.
uncomfortable.
you got to study. You have to you have to critique yourself, and you have to set the bar so high that it scares you.
Mhm.
Mm.
Um, because in a year, you'll be like, I'm really close to this bar. I didn't think I'd get here. And then you set it higher
Yeah.
the next time. So the
Yeah.
Lulu being the Salulu isn't always the Salulu.
He said, put lace up them bootstraps and get to damn work. Is
Get the
what he
work.
said.
Educate yourselves. No, I agree.
Put
I
the
like
work
that
in.
one.
Yeah. Put the
Put the
work
work in.
in.
Put the work
And
in.
that's for me too, because I hate my work. When I went through my portfolio yesterday, I was like, I hate all of this shit.
Are you serious
It's,
right now?
oh
I was
my
like,
God.
If I could
I
hang up
hate
the call, I would, but all
boo
right.
boo.
I
Like,
do. I hate
I
everything
can,
I do because I know I can do better.
yeah, I was gonna say I can
Okay,
kind of
I
get
get what you're saying. Yeah,
yeah, I can get it. I get it.
I get
I
what you're
will
saying.
say I don't agree, but I
Which
get it.
is fine.
Yeah,
But I
but you're
just
using that as a motivator to like continuously
To
push yourself
continue,
to be
yeah.
better. Yeah,
I aspire to this level of the greats.
yeah.
And if
Oh,
I don't feel
yes.
like I'm there, I got a problem. Like all of this is all me studying every great photographer who's ever lived. That's what this is about, because I'm trying to get there and I don't care what I got to do to get there. And I'd like to see more people with that same level of passion, dedication, and discipline that it takes to do it here, because the talent exists.
Right.
Correct.
But talent don't mean shit if
Definitely.
you
The
don't do anything with
education
it.
level of it though is
You
And
missing.
gotta,
Yeah,
yeah.
that
So
element of educating
the
yourself
talent
because we
don't
don't
mean
have it.
shit
Yeah.
if you don't do nothing with it. And also, I'm gonna pair that with you being a shitty individual doesn't really help the situation either.
So
because I
true.
will not fool with you
Yeah.
and I'll cuss you
I was
out.
gonna say I know sometimes as creatives we are hungry, we do have this kind of by any means mindset, and I love that when it is laced in integrity. For me,
Yeah.
Correct. Correct.
I
Because
get
I'm not
some
stepping on nobody to get there.
correct. Like I
We can
just it's
all
not
go together. Or
right.
you can stay here while I go, but I'm not gonna knock you out of the way.
Correct.
Exactly.
I love that.
I like to say it's plenty of stars in the sky,
Mm-hmm.
and look,
Plenty of room.
it's
A
not
lot of
that
space
deep.
out there. Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah, that's an interesting point. I could do a whole nother spiel on that. I won't.
what?
What they say?
The
We'll
it's
save it
plenty of
for the
stars
in
in the
person.
sky.
We'll save it for the in person
Right.
episode.
Just how ugly people can be towards each other
Oh yeah,
in
yeah.
this space. You know,
Ooh,
this
Yeah.
wee.
the city is too small to be even thinking about beefing with other creatives. I don't understand that part, you know.
It's
But
a
Or
yeah,
just
that's
doing
a
bad business. Doing bad business on that
hmm
front too. And
hmm
then yeah. No, I
it's a
agree.
deal
Denise, do
for
you have a
sure.
beat so effing for real?
I got one now based off of Mike calling me out during this
Right.
during this
I'm taking my
meeting.
lashings as well.
Yeah, be so fucking for real. Just do the things. I feel like I can say it in a different way, but I have been trying to like, and you know this because you've been more privy to how I'm like design and like photo and trying to all like create this ecosystem for myself.
Doing it all.
And just like doing it. I have the damn ideas. I have the strategy. I have everything like there.
Like, you see my Pinterest board, I got a lot of fashion on there for you.
Just literally doing everything. So
Yeah.
excited that I'm not actually out of these conversations, that I'm still, you know, a little buzzy, but yeah, very much just need to do the damn things. Be so fucking real, girl.
Do it.
Little Swiss Army knife. Let's get it done.
Mhm.
Kind of how I feel.
Little Gruber you are. That's for my
You know
military
what I'm
people
saying?
who know.
Oh,
A Gruber
okay.
saves the day. No, I'm just doing what it do.
I don't know what
Like,
that is.
it
What is
flips
that?
open and has a lot of different tools. Swiss Army knife, but it's a Gruber. It's a specific brand. Never mind. Anywho,
Yeah. You did lose me. What
I
is
said it was
yours?
for my military people. The military people get it.
Mm.
My be so effing for real. I think a little bit of what Mike slashings were for myself as well.
That's what I'm saying.
Little Irish
I
accent. Y'all
call
heard that Irish accent, right? Catch me later for your accents. I definitely feel like I'm, in regards to the styling thing, because that was my first love. Fashion has always been my first love. Getting back to the things that I love, I think, again, you've been privy to this, but I want to get back to that childlike confidence that I had. And
yes.
I've really been trying to get into that in all facets of my life. Like, just how confident I was at that age, like 16,
Mm.
15, 14, like just being like, whatever I say, whatever I want, I'm going to do it.
I'm gonna
By
do
any
it. Yeah.
means necessary, and not allowing, like, whatever my 20s has developed, take the good, spit out the bones, but really just kind of embody that go
Mhm.
type of aspect, and just all of the things, writing, styling, possibly
Mm.
directing and
The
acting, because the
curiosity that
Lord
was
is
there.
he's
Oof.
been on my
Mhm.
heart about this acting thing, and I'm trying to navigate that in itself, because I did used to act. That was actually my true first love, if I'm being honest,
Mm.
was the acting, way back when, before I
Well,
pivoted behind the scenes and styling. So doing that, navigating that, being honest with myself, having hard questions, and accepting my fears. I know we talked about the relationship with failure last episode, but
yeah.
also the relationship with my own fears of, like, my own predilections of myself and all of that stuff. So navigating that, being so fucking real on these things, I'm going to really sit and journal.
Mhm.
Journal and talk these things out with the
That's
Lord.
my favorite thing to do.
Talk to sit in prayer and journal and figure it out. But I know for a fact, just even in this conversation, things that have been stirring in my spirit are kind of starting to, like, line up and
Like
flesh
they're
out. So,
confirmed.
yeah.
Yeah.
Because remember, I
I love
told you,
that.
like, all last year, people kept asking me to act, and I was like,
Yeah. I love when things come together later. Let me be mindful of that. Because in the moments I don't. It's actually very irritating to me. It feels like things are not coming together. But I love when they do. Yeah, like in the moment it's like, oh my God. Like
yeah.
I'm
Like,
about
I
to
am not
freaking
this. Like,
freak
I was
out.
adamant. Like, I was like, I am a writer and
Yeah.
producer. Don't
But I
ask me to
love when
act.
God and the universe kind of he just bring you back
Yeah.
to the same thing, or the same like first love, or the same like feeling, or I
Yeah.
love that because it really affirms like you are exactly where you need to be.
Correct.
So I
Correct. Correct.
literally
Correct.
love that.
So, yeah.
I'm excited for all of us
I am
in 2026.
too.
You're Mike, you're starting, you said you're going back into your writing bag. We're doing the things
I
like
feel like also, too, just
Yeah.
how intersectional all of the people I've allowed myself to really keep in my circle, like how we're all kind of, able to
mm,
pull, because we are, I'm gonna say, multifaceted. We all just really have a lot of different talents. Like, we can really be
Mhm.
great in a
Mhm.
lot of different areas, and it benefits all of us in different ways. So I am as equally excited for 2026. I'm very excited to
Yeah.
see where we'll be, and we'll have more guests on. Like I said, y'all go see us in Contrast again.
Oh yeah.
yeah.
Whenever y'all get ready, that's
Yeah.
you. You guys are always welcome over there. So
Now we just need cameras. We just need
We
cameras.
have
well,
We need
I mean,
not
cameras.
if I need to bring the black magic, y'all could just use it. It's fine.
or
That's
that.
really, yeah. That's because we're not in school anymore. A lot of people have graduated, so we were using a lot of, like, OU stuff
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
to get kind of
Yeah.
I
get by
will
on
say
certain things. So
I
yeah.
now have two marks or D series for Canon. I think I have a 5D
Oh yeah,
Mark II and a
you did
4
buy a
now.
camera. I forgot about that. Yeah.
So
But they have limited recording time, don't they?
I believe so, but hey, we had to make it work
We have
last
We'll
used
time.
it
make it
So
work.
before. Yeah,
like, I
we've used
think
Okay.
it before, and
yeah.
like I said, we're pretty structured and fragmented of, like, how we shoot an episode, or even like a
Mm-hmm.
Patreon
Mhm.
or stuff like that. So that's why I'm like,
Mm-hmm.
I appreciate everything that you've done. But yeah, no, here soon, we're gonna get this funding, because I don't want to use my money anymore. I don't want to necessarily use my money anymore. I need
Let
some.
me start it.
I need some
Other
OPM.
people's money.
OPM
Yes.
right now. I need it right now.
You need some OPM?
Yeah, I need some OPM. I need some OPM. That's an investment term. That's how they be talking to VC capitalists.
Absolutely.
They be saying
Absolutely.
OPM. And I remember when I found that out with Subtle Home, that was like a thing. And they were like OPM. And I was like, other people's money.
love that.
These
That's
Cracker
it.
Jacks ain't doing nothing
Right.
new under the sun.
Nothing new.
Nothing new under the sun. But yes, thank you, sir, so much for joining
You are
us on
most
this
welcome.
episode. We will definitely have you in studio soon. And for the people who are tuning in, this has been Unpaid Invoices. I'm your girl, Kira.
And your girl, Danique Nashay. And of course, our lovely guest, Mike Spencer.
Boo, 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 boo.
And
This
we'll
has
see
been
you
Unpaid
guys
Invoices.
next time.
Peace.
Imagine the music going out.
Yeah.